Hi, my name's Miles. This is my video essay for the Aveda Institute of Denver. A little bit about myself. I am 23, almost 24, and live here in Denver now for the past 8 or 9 months. I'm married. I have a wife with a baby girl due in January, so a lot's been going on in the past year. Um, I grew up in California, moved to Florida for about 10 years, through my teen years, uh, with my parents due to my dad's work. Um, and I do not like Florida. I'm more of an outdoors person. There's not much to do in Florida except fish. So I went to school back in California for college, and then went to an extension campus in England for a semester. I moved back to California to start a coffee shop with my buddy from Florida. Um, I helped build that and manage it for about a year, and then we decided to sell it because the market started going down, and we kind of split off. I went to Hawaii for a few months, and then just to take a break, and moved back to California. I got a little bit into the fashion industry. I started doing a little bit of modeling. I've always been to photography, and was doing photography for a little bit. Helped shoot weddings with my friends, and just trying to make some money on the side. And started working for a fashion denim line called Haight Ashbury. And the market in LA, the garment district, really just started going down. So I got out of that. It was kind of a bad direction. I thought it'd be exciting to get into that. So I started doing, I was a talent agent for maybe about 5 months, and that was going well. I actually got to do some Disney stuff, and got to do a little bit of that whole industry in LA. But even that started slowing down, and I knew I had to get out of California just because the market was horrible. At that time, I started dating my wife, Nicole, and she was living in Laguna Beach at the time, and we really knew we just needed to get out of there. Nobody can afford it, and so we were looking at Colorado. She has some family here, and I've always wanted to move to Colorado. I always knew that they had a really good uh, economy here, and it's doing great compared to everywhere else on the coastlines, and that's all I've ever lived in, was either the East Coast or the West Coast, and both of them right now aren't doing so good. So we decided to move out here. She has a little bit of family, so right now we live in North Glen, and we're looking to buy a house somewhere around here. And I've been in and out of work just looking for something that I would really like to do. In the past, in California, I went to look into a Tony and Guy school, and also Paul Mitchell, and I really wanted to go. I just couldn't afford to do it on my own. At the time, I was living in 29 Palms in Palm Springs, and couldn't afford it. So I had to work and pay rent, and just wasn't any ways of that happening. And now at this point, I can go to school, and we looked into the Aveda Institute. Before that, I looked into Antoine Duché, and it's just their style I don't think really fits for me. I'm looking for something more that LA or New York kind of style, maybe a little bit European. I've always been into my hair. If it was one thing, it was maybe my shoes and my hair, but my hair always had to be perfect. I really have thick hair, and I can't stand it. I always probably have to cut half of it out every couple months. And as you can see at the moment, I really need to cut my hair. So when I went into the Aveda Institute, I really liked it. Just walking into there, I really like their style. They're very neat, and um, I think it really caters to anybody. Anybody would like to walk in there and get their hair cut, and it's really hard to find that. Um, I wanted to find something along the lines of, I was very familiar with Tony and Guy. That's where I've always kind of got my hair cut. But actually, the last time in California I had my hair cut, it was at an Antoine Duché, and they screwed it up, and I didn't like it. So I've always been very picky about where I go, and the Aveda salons, I've never actually honestly been in there to get my hair cut, and walking in there, I really like the styles that you guys cater to, and I think that I would be a good fit there. As far as your guys' learning program, it seems very intensive, and I want to be sure about what I'm doing. I've never tried to cut somebody's hair because I know that I don't know what I'm doing, and until I'm learning the basics and understand what I'm doing, I wouldn't attempt it. But I have dyed my hair and things like that for other people. But I know that's something that I've always looked into and always been very interested in. At the moment, my sister's going to the Art Institute in Florida, and my mom was a hairstylist in California for a few years before I was born, and the only reason why she didn't go back is because she had to take care of 3 kids within about 3 years period. All my family is very close in age. So as far as the Aveda Institute goes, I think that it's a perfect fit for me. I'm very unsure about what I do until I know that that's the right choice, and I feel going in there, as far as your guys' curriculum, it seems like it's very intensive, and coming out, I saw your guys' percentages of your passing rate being 99.9%, and the 75% staying with Aveda was really what sold me. I know working with past companies that it's kind of like you try to get in and learn what you can, and then once you learn it, you really want to go off and do your own thing or work for another company. But it seems like with Aveda that you can make a lot of money, even working for the company, or eventually running your own salon, which I consider being something that I would like to do down the road. I'm very business oriented. I would say I'm pretty smart with understanding sales in the economy. I have worked in those industries. I've managed, I've done sales, and they're both things that I like to do. I find right now I'm working at a coffee shop, the Brewing Market in Lafayette and Longmont, and that's where I will probably be working as I go to school, just to make a little bit of an income on the side. And I find myself always being in the sales market, and I kind of like that about your guys' salons and the products that you're selling being all natural. You can't really go wrong with trying to sell something like that. Nobody's going to say anything negative about an all-natural product. So I find that side of it being something easy that I can be very effective in. So as far as your guys' classes, with a lot of the people you guys having come in there and training, I looked at your guys' board and all the classes you guys are just going to be having in the Denver salon. You can consider yourself very lucky to even get the chance to be in. And the events that you have with all your guys' shows, and another reason why Aveda is just always on the edge. With fashion, I know it's a huge deal. With a company, you, as a company in the fashion industry, which you guys, fashion and hair go together. You can't have one without the other, and both need to be representing themselves. So if I go to school with Aveda, which I hope that I do, I would plan on staying with Aveda, and for those reasons, that I think that you guys are the #1 right now and growing, and that's the best place to be. And so I hope that I will be there soon, and that you guys will consider me. Thank you again.